Hello and welcome to The Talk with Tariro. Indeed, we are in the festive season, a season where we get to celebrate and also just looking forward to a new year that's going to be enjoyable, fun for us. So indeed, we are saying Merry Christmas, and we are saying yes, 2022, we are ready for you. Bring it on. And as we continue with our festive celebrations, as well as we enter into 2022, we have invited one female musician who is rocking the airwaves. She is, according to me, the woman of the moment. That's Tammy Moyo. Tammy, welcome to The Talk.
Thank you so much for having me.
Yes, how is the festive season going?
It's hectic.
It's hectic. What's
Very
happening?
Busy, but interesting.
Yes.
Finally, things are starting to open up again. So, we're getting to see people again,
Yes.
our loved ones, our fans,
yes.
which is really exciting. Yeah.
And it is our hope that COVID-19 cases continue being suppressed. We do know when it's festive season, our message is let's continue being safe. We don't want to witness a spike in the cases. So for the sake of Zimbabweans, the Talk viewers, who is Tammy?
Tammy Moyo is now a 23-year-old singer-songwriter slash guitarist, just became actress, and just became producer as well. I ventured into producing music. I started my journey when I was 7 years old.
The musical journey?
Yes.
Wow. Tell us more.
Okay. So I started my journey when I was 7 years old. I used to sing in church, and in school I was in the senior choir whilst a junior. And then I think my parents picked it up that there was something there. So they started nurturing me, getting me to meet a few musicians who are well established in their own right. So I got to meet your Dudu Manengas, Prudence Katomeni, Oliver Mutukudzi, and they took me on and, taught me one or two things about the industry. And I started performing professionally, I think, when I was 8.
What?
Yes. And I released my first 2 singles when I was 13. They're called Celebrate Your Life. Obviously, there was a lot happening in between there. I was performing at festivals like Haifa, Nama, Winter Jazz Fest. I got to open for Joe Thomas again. And long story cut short, I released my first album in 2016. It's called The 18th Roller Coaster. This was soon after becoming the Childline Ambassador for a 3-year period. And then from then onwards, it's just been singles, up until 2021, where we have Budzije, the album coming out.
Yes.
So this is where I'm at now.
And share with us the other branching that you now spoke about, where you now a producer. You said you're what as well?
I just turned actress.
Actress as well. Yeah, we want to know more about that.
All right. So I featured in my first feature film, which is called Gonerejo, and it speaks on anti-poaching. And my cast members, Eddie Sandifolo, he's quite well established as an actor. You have Tendai Chitima, who's also doing very well for herself. So go check out Gonerejo. It's in theaters.
Already? Okay.
Yes. And I just became a producer. I think I produced 1 or 2 tracks on my album, which is called Budzijena. So yes, it's available on all streaming platforms. It's been a journey of learning and discovering and shedding your skin to discover new things underneath all of this. I'm young, I'm ambitious, and I keep learning each and every day. So you hear a lot more from me. Yeah.
And maybe for some who might be watching and saying, so what's the difference between Tammy being a musician and now she's talking about I've produced my own songs? Where is the difference there?
I don't really think there's much of a difference. I'm a writer, a composer-writer. So in that, you actually find that you may have been producing all this time. Because when you walk into studio, for some artists, you know exactly what you want to hear.
Yes.
You know exactly where you're going with the song in that particular moment. But maybe it's the programming that you're not really well versed in. So that's what I've decided to learn, to take my ideas and start establishing them on a computer. So you might be a producer without actually knowing it. So I think I decided to take it on seriously for this last project.
Now let's look at the music industry and female musicians in our country. How has it been?
It's been a learning curve for me as a female musician,
Yes.
and I'm sure my counterparts share the same sentiments. There's been a lot of growth, especially on the female aspect. I remember growing up and you'd see one or two females on TV and the rest is just males,
Yes.
males, males. Even on like a lineup when you're going for a family show and you know so-and-so is performing, there would be probably one female to like 5 males. But now you find a lot of females, I always say, are running their race now and they're doing it diligently. There's a lot of growth. You know, we are coexisting in the same space, even though we're from different worlds and might sing different genres, but you find a lot of love and support amongst us. You find one is sharing the other's work. There's a lot of unity coming together, and I believe that the tables are turning.
Yeah.
I think society's coming to accept the idea of female musicians who are role models in society, and they're letting you be who you want to be. And we're not just fighting for a seat at the table anymore. We're creating our own
Creating
tables.
your own tables.
Yeah.
Definitely, that's where I wanted to go, where to then say, as female musicians, because oftentimes this crying of saying there's this show that has happened, maybe one woman or there's no woman at all.
Yes.
And even when I'm looking at the promoters, they're men as well.
Yes.
So I really wanted to then ask to say, how do you as women create your own tables and make sure that you excel whilst at it, so that you overcome these obstacles where you find women being sidelined in a way?
Yeah, I think just coming together, you know, having these conversations, hosting these workshops where it's women empowering other women. I was empowered by other women as well. I did mention Dudu Manenga, Prudence Katumeni, and Chiwoniso Maraire as well.
Yeah.
Starting those conversations and putting them into action makes a whole lot of a difference. You find that in the future, I myself will probably host an all-female festival because you find some of my role models are doing that.
Yes.
And so I can do that as well, just supporting each other and creating our own platforms through festivals, workshops, conversations, going into schools and speaking with young women as well.
Yes.
You know, and also I believe the music can speak. It does a better job than just sitting and having the conversation.
Yeah.
But show it in your music, inspire and empower other women as well.
Yes.
Send out positive messages.
Yeah, and to close off our first segment, we want Tammy to close with a song.
All right. So this one is called Big Stepper. Right. So it goes, Tapinda, Tapinda, Muskana Katrinda, Dakarukwa Nishinda, with the big dogs machinda. Oh, from the 263, black girl magic, can you see it in me? Yeah, I'm my mother's daughter. I don't slay but slaughter. I realize my power. I'm living in this hour. Said I do it with so much swag. I do it with so much life. I do it with so much this, like that, like this, like that, like oh yeah. Big stepper. Tamba kunge Simon Chopper. Oh, Uriazo. I do it like Big Montasso. Oh, yeah.
And festive celebration continues here on the Talk with Tariro, and we have Tammy Moya. I still have goosebumps from that medley that she did just before the break. So Tammy, what inspires you? Because if you're saying you started at 7 years,
Yes.
what inspired you to get into music, and what still continues to inspire you?
I hardly ever say this, but I realized it recently. Just the love and the support from my loved ones inspires me to do what I do. I think it's one thing to know that you have a gift. It's one thing for those you love to affirm it and to nurture it. So I'm inspired by their love and their support for me. But generally when I write music, I'm inspired by things that are happening around me, things that are happening within me mostly. You know, how do I express myself without being too vocal? Without going haywire or ballistic in a very artistic manner.
Yes.
So I'm very blessed and fortunate that I'm able to sing. So I use music to express how I feel, to express let it be a reflection of things that are happening in the society, things that are happening to my friends, my loved ones, and on the internet. I think there's a lot going on in the world, so much to say. Yeah.
And you were starting at 7, and you spoke about how your parents actually nurtured your talent to where you are now. And a lot of people, when you speak to them, particularly when you choose a career path, which is in the arts or acting, music, fashion, you know, all these things, people then tend to think, this should be like a side hustle, so to speak, and not be your main career. And people would want to know, maybe, is Tammy just a musician, or you still having another so-called formal job? Though this can be the formal, you know. We just want to demystify that war belief system that's still out there.
Yes, I'm happy that you said demystify, because there's a lot of misconceptions around it. There is the art of music business, so it's not just music. There is the whole aspect of music business by itself. I think that's the difference between maybe someone who's starting up and someone who's established, is how seriously you take yourself as a creative, as an artist. There's the whole accounting aspect of it, the financial aspect of it, the managerial aspect of it. So you need to know what to do. You need to specialize, just like any other field of work. So for me, this is my field of work, and I'm blessed that I don't have to work a day in my life. Because I also enjoy doing that. And yeah, I'm also going to encourage someone out there who is scared to start their journey, and other parents out there,
especially the parents, please give them that message, because that's where a lot of young people do face the challenge.
Yes, I think assist your children in the process of discovering their gift. Take it as seriously as you would any other career. If you really feel that your child is blessed in this manner. I'm privileged that my parents allowed me to go to school and still be a musician, so it's very possible. You know, depending on how much you can take. I was very determined to do what I love, so I had to make sure everything was great. But I'm encouraging parents out there to nurture their children's talents and see the right people, consult the right people, because sometimes I think we just want to do things because we think we know, but there's actually people who specialize in that. There's academies for that. There's tutors for that, mentors who do that. I did mention that I had a few when I was growing up, and I'm blessed that they're still in my life. And you can do the same for your child, and it can become something beyond your imagination.
And somebody would then say, does it pay well for somebody to then say, I can actually survive from music?
It is a business at the end of the day. I think the difference between good and great is how much you pay attention to detail. So yes, you can actually make a living out of it. You can make genuine money out of it.
And looking at Tammy as a musician, 2020 have been challenging years for I think not just in Zimbabwe but globally. Different professions. For you as a musician, how has it been?
2020 for me was a bit tense. We weren't expecting things to take such a radical turn and change. So I think the whole of 2020, I spent it trying to wrap my mind around what's happening around us. And also the pandemic was so sad for those who lost their loved ones. It's also trying to get a grip on what's happening around you, be sensitive to those who've lost their loved ones or those who are dealing with COVID, which was tough. Learning to move around with a mask, all those changes. But I'm so thankful that I have a supportive team. We had to think outside of the box. I think 2020, the lesson was stay prepared always, because anything can happen. And you're not always going to work in your comfort zone. Be prepared to think outside the box. So I released a single last year, which is called Kutera. That was after obviously finding my feet. And then 2021, I've been at it. I've just been working in studio, doing production, and working with a lot of different people. So 2021 has been a great year. Things are starting to move, and we're so blessed to have the internet where if you want to talk to someone in the US or South Africa, it's just a click away now.
Yes.
So somehow it's made life easier for us as creatives.
Yes.
Because you can communicate without actually having to travel somewhere, which is incredible. So, yeah.
And as we wrap up this second segment as well, Tammy and another song.
All right. So this one is called Handisare, Sare, for Kuzijena. So it goes. I woke up so early in the morning. Nothing is clear, am I turning? Life is a road, is a journey. All of these questions I'm burning. Feeling always I'm unworthy. Hapana chandu gunaini. Mercy, 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 mercy. But I'm not counting my blessings more. Oh, zere. Naikure kugona ndigere. Hena kungo tari saje vamwe. Handembere. Handi sare. 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 Urua. Kusumuka, kupumuka, mepozia, kusumuka, usabunduka, share, share, urua, kusumuka, kupumuka, mepozia, kusumuka, usabunduka.
Wow. Mepodzia kusumuka. We know COVID-19 came as a whirlwind. And she's saying, let's not be scared. Whatever Mepo ya sumuka, let's tackle it head on. Join us after the break. We continue with the amazing Tammy Moyo. If you can have someone singing exactly as you hear the voice, the same way that you hear it on radio, then you do know that this is a good musician. Tammy, before we went for the break, we were talking about how just COVID-19 came and changed everything. And I think it's not just for musicians. Lockdown happened.
Yes.
Lots of gigs were then cancelled.
Yes.
For some even went into depression.
Yeah, true.
They didn't know what to do. How did you survive?
Once again, I'm so fortunate and blessed enough to be with my family. I think we were all just trying to go through it together, supporting each other. I'm a big sister of 5 whole human beings.
Wow.
Yes.
So you're the firstborn?
I'm the firstborn.
Deputy parent.
Yes, I am. So I think my siblings are a great form of entertainment for me, and a support structure as well. And my parents, just encouraging me to take this time to reflect on myself as an individual, as a human being, and to see how best I can move forward, how best I can progress.
Yes.
During these tough times, and me also listening to them, spending time with them, watching TV, writing music in a same space again is so incredible. In isolation, I think you get so caught up in writing music around other people in the studio.
In the studio, yes.
You hardly ever have time to hear your own voice mentally. So I think it's been a time of reflection, and I'm so grateful that my family has been my safe space for this whole period.
Okay. And when we are looking at Tammy, the musician, starting from 7 years up to now, which one would you say is my favorite song out of my songs? And exactly. Favorite song out of your songs, and why?
I'm gonna have to say Mutoro is my favorite song out of all the songs I've written. It's off the album Kuzijena. I think I took a step further out of my comfort zone and said, I'm going to produce something, and I want the world to experience that and to feel that. So without the 2 cents of another human being, I was able to find comfort in letting people hear me be vulnerable in that moment. It's a song about, how tough it is to move from teenagehood to a young adult. I'm 23, I'm young, I'm a female. There's so much pressure in the world. Mutoro watches sometimes.
Give it to us. Let's hear it.
So it goes, Budijena, mwana we munu mutema, mutoro unurema, and all my eyes, yeah, I feel there's a fire burning in me, yeah, it's mighty. I've come this far, a voice yearning like thunder, yeah. Knowing your time, gotta fight for it, yeah. Gotta fight for it, oh. Knowing your time, gotta fight for it, gotta fight for it, oh. Something like that.
Wow. Wow. Definitely mtoro wacho unogona kurema. Where do you get the messages in your songs? Because listening to all of them, they're carrying deep meaning out of them.
Yeah.
Where do you get this from?
I think I'm an old soul. I mean, my parents grew up telling me that I'm a very old soul. And I listen to a lot of old school music as well.
Yeah.
I listen to a lot of Chaka Khan, The Gap Band, Michael Jackson, just all these incredible artists. I listen to Bundu Boys as well. I'm inspired by the things that are happening around me, like I said. I don't know. I think that's where the gifting of God comes in, because sometimes you also cannot explain to say, oh, this depth comes from this place.
Exactly.
It's just a matter of He gives you the right message. He gives you the right words.
Yes.
He gives you the right melodies. I'm a Christian, so I believe in Mwari. I believe in Jesus Christ. So I think He gives me the power and the right words to say in song. Because sometimes when I'm talking, I think it's two different experiences altogether.
Yeah. And the album Vudzijena, what inspired that title? Then I'm seeing you've got Vudzijena there.
Vudzijena in my head. I think it became a look that I associate myself with. I think I like it because it's bold.
Yeah.
And I think the story of becoming Vudzijena is about stepping out of your comfort zone and declaring that you were here without apologizing for that. And when it happened, it was sort of a mistake. When I went to the salon, there was a whole mix-up and whatnot. And I became Vudzijena, and everyone was like, oh, wow, this is actually a look. So I decided to own it. But more so, Vudzijena symbolizes growth and coming of age and wisdom. And for me, this is a statement to say I'm on a journey, I'm on a quest to acquire growth and wisdom. And
your fans might be asking, what's in store for us come 2022?
2022 is an exciting year. I'm hoping to see a lot more of my fans. Vudzijena the tour is about to happen. It's about to kick off, so I'm excited for that. A lot of collaborations with some of your favorites as well. I won't begin to mention names. So stay updated on my socials, and just more music. I don't like to overpromise and then not be able to deliver. But it's definitely more music, more visuals, more collaborations, and more shows.
Yeah, so definitely from what Tammy is saying, more is coming. And from me, Tariro, I continue saying, let's enjoy, have fun, but have fun responsibly. So I'm leaving it to Tammy to wrap up this show, giving us one of her songs. Tammy, it's over to you. And Zimbabwe, happy festive season.
Yes, so this one is an old one, but I know a lot of people love it. So my message to you guys is stay loving on yourself, stay confident. I think in 2022, be bold. There's there's a hashtag called Godfidence.
Godfidence.
Have Godfidence. Continue to believe in yourself and love on yourself. Remember that you are beautiful. Be responsible. Yes.
Last song for us.
This one is called Beautiful. Baby, no, right now, you're beautiful, you're beautiful. Baby, no, right now. Wakana kaiwe,